Hi, I'm Matt Dietrich, editor of Reboot, Illinois, and this is your weekly Reboot, Illinois recap, only in Illinois.
This week one of our favorite stories came from our friends at the Chicago Tribune. They did an investigation, looked at ballot access in about 200 instances around the Chicago region and the suburbs, and found 76 candidates were tossed from the ballot for the upcoming April 9th local elections. Local elections really are your chance to vote for people who are closest to you and control the bulk of your property tax bills, and so they're really important for you to educate yourselves about. The Tribune found that people were being knocked off the ballot because of an ampersand in a political party's name, or because of a loose paper clip, and usually the people making these decisions have a conflict of interest, a vested interest in the outcome and in narrowing the field. So a really interesting story, and then at the same time we recently saw the example in the 2nd Congressional District where Jesse Jackson Jr. used to serve. The Republican nominee in that previous election is actually a convicted felon who spent 20 years in prison for burglary and armed robbery, and yet he had no trouble getting on the ballot. So it just goes to show you, only in Illinois.
No paper clips, but felony convictions okay to get you onto the ballot. We've also got a new feature here at Reboot, Illinois. It's called our Outrage of the Month. We have 2 nominees for this month. First was thanks to our friend Andy Shaw at the Better Government Association, who wrote about some misdeeds in the Cook County Recorder's Office, where Karen Yarbrough had hired at a $75,000 a year position a very close friend of hers who also was her tenant, but who also had a felony conviction for a faked armored car robbery from 2009. Andy wrote about that. That employee is no longer on the payroll. But the winner for our Outrage of the Month goes to Cook County Commissioner William Beavers.
Also known as the Hog.
Also known as the Hog.
He named himself that one.
And he was found guilty last week in federal court for income tax evasion, and it was based on his use of a couple $100,000 of campaign money for gambling at the Horseshoe Casino in Hammond, Indiana. His defense,
not in Illinois.
and his defense was, there is no law against gambling with campaign funds in Illinois. The problem was he wasn't charged with gambling with his campaign funds. He was charged with income tax evasion for not reporting those funds as income. He was found guilty in about an hour. That's our Outrage of the Month.
That's our Outrage of the Month, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Please join us next week as we return with Only in Illinois. But before we sign off, we'd ask you to sign our pension petition. This is a critical time for pension reform in Illinois, so let's keep the pressure on our state legislators to get something done. You can find the petition at our website, www.rebootillinois.com/pension crisis. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.